What you know about graphing? Hello to my Algebra 2 class and anyone in another subject that wants to get ahead that has not hit Algebra 2 yet. This is a quiz review for tomorrow's quiz. We're going to be looking at sections 2-6 to about 3.3 in your textbook. I'm going to go through 5 problems that you could see something very similar to on tomorrow's quiz. I'm going to try to be as fast as I can so that I can keep your attention, as I know we all have low attention spans. First question right here, you're going to be given some points on a scatter plot. I want you to create the scatter plot and create a line of best fit. I hope you can see that. So on our calculators, we can start with going to stat, and from there, edit. And I've already put in my values here. So in the L1 column, it should say 2, 3, 4, 6, 10. In my Y column, it should say 8, 6, 10, 7, 20. And notice it says L1, L2. So when I go to actually graph it, stat, calc, and I go to linear regression, I want to make sure that that right there says L1 and that says L2. From there I can hit calculate and it's going to give me that. So what I could do is write that down and then put that into y equals, which I've already done up here. There's another way to do it, which I always get a little confused, but if you hit, so if I go to vars, stats, EQ, it should put it in there for me. Now I'm not really clear how that works, so it could not work. Either way, you should be able to just write down to most of the decimal points, and then I'm going to want you to draw it. So we can look at the graph here. First, I want to make sure if I have other equations in here, those are turned off. So notice how that one is selected there. I want to deselect that. So it should be just that one. All right, now we're going to graph it. All right, so we have our graph, and also what I want to do, since we can't see the stat plot, I want to actually turn the plot on to see what they look like. So I see my points, my line goes through it. So what I want to now do is I want to go onto my paper here and draw it. And the last one's gonna have to go up there, and y equals, it's going to be 1.25x plus 2.75. So do the best you can. Let's see, 2.5 is gonna be around here, and it's not gonna go 1 for every 2, so it's gonna go 1 for every 1.5-ish. So it should look something like that. So if you sketch that and then you just put y equals, and I'll ask for the equation as well, x plus 2.575, that would be a correct answer. Next, over here, y equals -3 absolute value of x plus 3 minus 2. You would want to be able to put that into your calculator, so I have that set up in my second one. Remember, for the absolute value, it could look like that. I know other calculators sometimes look different. So I can go to math, num, and absolute value, ABS, and it's going to give me that. So I have -3 out there, absolute value, x plus 3 minus 2 out here. I want to next make sure that's highlighted right there. And I'm going to graph it on here, but I also want to just check to see what it looks like. All right, so its vertex is going to be down there. One thing you can do to check what that vertex is if you go to second calc, and you go to, for this case, because it has a maximum but an infinite minimum, we can go to maximum, enter, and then I would want to bring my cursor just left of it. See, my cursor's about on it, left, hit enter, right, hit enter, and then put your cursor about where it belongs, hit enter. Well, it should say -3, -2, so I can make sure when I draw it that I'm using that. So I will give you a grid to answer on, so -3, -2, and I know that now you don't have to use the calculator, this is just to help you out if you don't remember quite how to do this. So -3 should look like that. and it's equal, so it's just a line. It's not an inequality. There's no shading here, just an equal sign. Next, given y is greater than negative 1/3 x plus 2. So one way we can do it is just start off how we would normally do it. Start with the y-intercept. Again, calculators, just if you need to use that to help you out, go for it. You actually don't really need a calculator to do any of this. So negative 1/3 x should look like that. And y is greater than. So if I plug in a 0, I should end up with 2, and it should be y is greater than 2. So my value is going to be up there. If I put in a 3, I should end up with negative 1 plus 2 is going to be 1, 3, 1. So it should say y is greater than 1. So if I put in 3, y is greater than 1, not less than, but greater than. Also, because this is a greater than sign, I should have dots here. So I messed up my line. So it should be a dotted line like that. All right, next, piecewise function. So this is where we don't really need a calculator on this one. It could be useful. All right, so it's saying from negative infinity to negative 2, we're going to have 2x minus 1. So to negative 2, 2x minus 1. So 2x minus 1, let's just check in. Minus 1, 2x will be like that. All right, so it's saying once it hits negative 2, so right here, it'll be equal to that. Yes, I know I'm going into another space. So it'll be like that. And then from negative 2 to 3, so from here to 3, it's going to be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right here, it will be a circle because it's less than, then 2, 3, let's see, 1, 2, 3 over here, be a whole circle. So it was that from negative infinity to negative 2, and then from negative 2 to 3, it's going to be like that. This is because this is a less than, not less than or equal to. This right here is because it's a less than or equal to 3. And then from here, x squared minus 1. So from 3 here, so if I put a 3, let's see, 3 is 9, 9 minus 1 is 8. So 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't worry, I'll give you plenty of space. All right, so again, this is a less than sign, so it's gonna be a big circle. And then I should be able to put in maybe one more point. So if I put in a 4, 16 minus 1 is 15. So I'd go up to 15, and it'd be like a number up here. All right, don't worry, it won't be the, oh, whoops, I think I put that in the wrong spot. This should be over here. So it's gonna look something like that. I know this is really jumbled up. All you're doing is following which values of x you're doing which function for, that's all. So you just gotta pay attention from negative infinity to negative 2 is this. From 2 to 3 it's gonna equal 5. From 3 to positive infinity, it's going to be x squared minus 1. So it's gonna go all the way up here. Next, given, I'm gonna give you 2 inequalities, and you're going to show a system of inequalities. So again, we don't need the calculator for this. We can use it to check our work, but we got negative 3, so it's gonna bring us over here, plus 2, and it's going to have a slope of 2. Start with that. It's saying that y is going to be less than or equal to, so it's going to be over here. All right, y is less than, so if I put in a 3, put in 3, 0, 3 minus 3 is 0, 0 times 2 is 0, 0 plus 2 is 2. Y is going to be less than or equal to 2. So y is less than or equal to 2, not greater than, all right? So that's all this stuff. And then over here, y is greater than 1/2 x plus 4. So plus 4, 1/2 x will look like that. So what I would want to do is make sure in my picture that I show the intersection of these, as it looks like it's saying greater than. So it's going to be up here and it's going to be up here. I would actually just shade in one of them if you can. Or if you did all vertical lines here and then did all horizontal lines, and then you did horizontal lines for the other inequality. All right, it's a little bit messy, but lastly, I just wanted to show you, so this is over here and here. So if this is A and B, I got Y4 is A, Y5 is B, and this is what it should look like.
Just to check my work. All right, that looks pretty good.
All right, yeah, so it's going to be the overlapping regions over here and over there. So I hope I did a good job of making this fairly short. That was 5 questions that you could see something very similar to. I'll probably throw in a challenge bonus question. I'll probably, for the Algebra 2 class, give you all period to work on it. Thank you for watching. Leave in the comments any other questions you might have. I may or may not answer them. You're better off messaging me through Remind or email, and stay weird.